How's it going, boys? It's me, your favorite Snake Souls merchant, and today we can celebrate the absolute 100% downfall of America. Oh yes, the Chauvin trial is over, and, well, Chauvin is 100% guilty of killing George Floyd. And let's be honest, everyone knew that that's gonna be the outcome. It doesn't matter if you believed he's not guilty or guilty. You just knew that it's gonna happen. The USA can't risk that half of it is gonna go up in flames because of a non-guilty verdict. At this moment in time, online, the only thing you cannot find about the jury is their addresses. And if you're a juror on that case, and you are crazy enough to even slightly insist that Chauvin was not 100% guilty, well, bad things could happen to you. Do you want to know what I would do if I was a juror on that trial? I would go on television screaming that Chauvin was 100% in the wrong, that he was racially motivated, that he wanted to kill him. The evidence is clear. The defense did nothing but prove the points that he 100% wanted to murder him. Racially motivated, and he would kill again. That is literally what I would say if I was in that jury. That's it. No regrets, by the way. I would 100% go and yell that on all the top of my lungs. And you may ask, wait, why would you do something so heinous? Pretty simple. You see, I don't want my house peacefully burned down. I do not want to peacefully get murdered. Everyone who votes on not guilty from the jury, 100% is in risk of danger. That's just the reality of it. No one in that jury does not understand the fact if they vote not guilty and come to the conclusion that he was not guilty of manslaughter and murder, they're not gonna have a good time. Their lives are gonna be literally in danger. So yeah, that was kinda expected. But the precedent has been set. And I'm not saying the downfall of America just cause. There's actually two major factors that are currently happening, and this trial happening and concluding as it did only means that America has absolutely no future left for it. It doesn't matter about justice, essentially. None of that matters. Two precedents have been set. The media for years has now touted that police violence is a thing, especially extremely undisproportionately hugely against black people. The media has spouted this for a very long time now. And this creates a huge precedent, especially with the Chauvin trial. You need to understand, what are cops gonna... Think about it. What are cops now gonna do? Do you think cops are, because of this precedent, you think cops are gonna do their job? I can bet there's, the moment the verdict was clear that he was guilty, a lot of cops around America are instantaneously saying to themselves, well, guess if I see something wrong now happening, I'm gonna just ignore it. Oh yes, I'm not gonna do my job. If I do something even remotely wrong, I could get thrown in prison. My family could get hurt. My property could get burned down. Oh no, I am not risking it. As time passes and cases like this pile up, cops are gonna just flat out start to ignore their job, most likely. Now, there are gonna be still obviously people who don't ignore their jobs and whatnot, but the amount of cops who will just literally ignore their job now, just stroll around, just closing their eyes on everything, is gonna increase rapidly now. And the second thing is, well, a lot of people who want to do bad things because of this, most likely to a degree at least, understand that now they have more freedom. The media has perpetuated this standard, which means people who want to do bad things are going to be extra wary of the police. And not in wary as in they're not going to commit crimes or anything. As soon as they see a cop, they're gonna most likely try to resist because they think their lives are in danger, because that's what the media has perpetuated. That if you see a cop, especially if you're black, you might just flat out get killed for no reason. And that's what a lot of people sadly believe, because that's what media constantly touts people. If you are black especially, if you see a cop and a cop approaches you, you better resist arrest, you better try fleeing, you better do this, you better do that, because because if the cop gets to you, you might die. That is the precedent the media has set. And it's clearly visible, especially since I'm not from the USA. I'm just someone looking outside at what's happening in the USA and what the tabloids, what the news sections are actually reporting. And that is literally what it looks like from the outside, if you look at, news networks and whatnot. The cops are not gonna do their jobs. A lot of them are gonna do their jobs a lot less. If they see two dudes duking it out, and potentially one of them may get killed because both of them have knives or guns in their hand, they're gonna close their eyes and go in the opposite direction, and they don't know anything. Hell, I would not be surprised if police, someone calls from a really bad neighborhood and says, "Help, I'm being robbed," or something like that. The police get that call. They said, "Be there." And they show up 2 hours later just to make sure that everything is done. Just to make sure that they don't even see what happens. That there's no way that anything bad happens. They're just gonna take the statements and pretty much do nothing. I literally see this happening. If this happens, if people are wary of the cops and think that they're gonna be killed if they just, as much as talk to them, situations like this will happen more and more frequently in combination with cops and people who do bad things. And, it's gonna escalate. It's gonna escalate real fast. And the more cops get thrown in jail for these situations, the less cops are gonna do things. And let me tell you how this is all gonna end. Sooner or later, people with bad intent will understand that, they can loot their own neighborhoods, but that's not exactly a capitalist 10 out of 10 play, If you're looting your own poor neighborhoods, you're not exactly getting a lot for your time, and everyone wants to get a lot for their time, and they will simply figure it out, that they can move up. They can just go and commit crimes in more luxurious neighborhoods. Someone does a crime in a luxurious neighborhood, the cops show up because it's a luxurious neighborhood. You can't not show up, right? What happens then? Something bad happens, and now the cops can't even go to luxurious neighborhoods. The only ones that they are forced to protect because those neighborhoods give them money. Oh yes, it's gonna be great. The downfall of America has literally been set in stone. Lawlessness and acts of whatever violence are gonna be gloriously committed throughout all the streets, all the everything. And and by the way, it's still early, so I don't know about lootings, riotings, and whatnot. But even if Chauvin was named guilty on all charges and absolutely everything, I think riots are still gonna happen because someone wants a free pair of Nikes, and there's no better time than now to get that free pair of Nikes. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So yeah, it's gonna be great. This is definitely gonna be a huge part of the downfall of America until the looting, the rioting, the lawlessness actually starts to go to the top of the food chain, to the Senate, to the Parliament, to the every institution of power in America. And then it's gonna be interesting what happens. Then that is the interesting part that I want to see what happens. What happens when the looting goes to the high expensive neighborhoods where, people's opinions actually matter because it's a bunch of celebrities and people with power and whatnot. What happens then? I'm really interested to see what happens then. But anyway, this was Quizzer Sensen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the channel, check out Discord, check out the Patreon, check out everything. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.